Hi everyone, good evening and welcome to Reconcilers Radio. So today I have a surprise and an announcement. So I'm not sure I'll tell you everything now, but there's someone else on the couch with me that will do just that. So welcome, Tony. Thank you so much for
Hello, how are
joining.
you?
I'm fine. I'm so
Thank
happy
you.
to see you today.
Thank you.
It's always there's so much I'm gaining from you every time we see. So I'm glad to have you on the couch with me.
Thank you.
And I said I have an announcement, so I'll let you make the announcement.
Well, the announcement is that we're going to start to have our own show
Yes.
from the beginning of May, from the 1st of May actually, and it's going to run every Monday evening from 6 to 8. And the show is going to be called Let's Share It.
Let's share it.
Yes, so that's what the show is going to be.
I'm really excited. I think this is an amazing opportunity for many people to learn from you. And the show is called Let's Share It. So, like she said, she's in the family now. She's now one of the presenters of Reconcilers Radio. And our show is called Let's Share It. It will be on Mondays from 6 to 8 p.m. And she's here to tell us more about it. So, thank you so much for allowing us talk to you before you come on the station
Yes.
officially. But why Let's Share It?
Well, if you look at the logo of Listening Ears, we have that's the name of our charity, Listening Ears. We have a slogan there, and the slogan reads sharing the burden, achieving positive changes. So actually the basic calling of our charity is to share, allow people to talk about their issues, and then we can explore it together
Okay.
and see what we can do. We don't necessarily have all the answers all the time, but at least we believe that a problem shared is half solved. So when we share it, we'll be able to explore possibilities of solutions, and then the person who has the burden can, for a change, step out of that burden and look at somebody else's point of view, and then we'll be able to start to move on from there.
Okay.
So we think if we give this particular space where people don't have to deal with their issues all on their own, and then they can have a platform to talk about it, listen to some advice, listen to another perspective, not necessarily all the solution, like I said. Well, some situations we might be able to achieve some solutions immediately, but in many cases it will take a process.
Yeah.
But at least the fact that it is shared, that means the journey has begun. So that's the journey we want to go along with our many supporters and listeners to provide.
I think it's amazing when you said sometimes some people just want to be they want someone to listen to them. They just want to speak about what you're going through. And
Yes,
like you said, the problem shared is a problem I've solved.
absolutely.
But I love the fact that you said we don't have all the solutions, but what we're just there is to provide listening ears, and that's the name of
Yes,
the charity that you
yes.
run. And when you, how long have you had listening ears?
Listening Hours was already 10 years last year. This is our 11th year that we have quite a number of, we have about 5 projects we run
Okay.
in the community. So let's share it. This platform
Mm-hmm.
is our newest project now, which actually is the core of the calling of the charity,
Okay.
which is about sharing each other's burden and achieving positive changes.
Positive changes, and it's incremental change, like you said. Sometimes it will take a while, but
Yes,
the problem is people do not really speak about what they're going
yes.
through.
A lot of times, particularly if people have issues that the society kind of have not embraced those challenges.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's the stigma that is accompany that, or sometimes people are not even, they don't even have an opportunity to talk to somebody. Sometimes they don't have the courage to talk about it. Quite a lot of reasons why people don't share or ask. In fact, sometimes people are even afraid they are going to be judged.
True.
And that is one thing we don't do at Listening Ears. We listen to people, we don't judge them, because they have a reason for being in the situation they are, even when it is their fault. Because obviously everybody who is right thinking wouldn't get into something that will land them in a problem. So
True.
things do go wrong. And when things are already wrong, there is no point beating a dead horse. It's already wrong. So we don't want to flog that again and start asking the person, why did you do it? That's one question we don't ask. But we want to look at how can we move forward? Because the deed is done. No point crying over split milk. So we look at it together, and then there is a kind of a confidence that the person who has the problem has, that somebody else is thinking about this, is just not me, which is a big relief, and it's a good beginning for the journey of achieving solution.
Interesting. And how can people participate? So if someone has a question that they have, what would you suggest?
What we are looking at people doing is people can send in text.
Okay.
They can write an email and talk about the issues they want to be discussed.
Okay.
Not make it too long so that we can be able to deal with other people's issues as well, and then we can share it. If they want to be anonymous, we are very conscious of the fact that confidentiality has to be kept at the optimum. And then some people have issues, they don't even care if it is made open and it is discussed where it is coming from. But we are open to what we can assure our listeners that confidentiality with us is a policy that we hold very seriously. So it stays within the confines of the walls of our charity.
Okay.
And then we can discuss it. Some situations we might it might require the person maybe taking time again to write us more in the office, or take time to get some referral from us. We can signpost people to where we believe they might be able to get more support if it is not something that we can handle within the charity, because we work with so many other service providers and other organizations. So we can signpost if it is not something we have solution for.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. And what we'll do is we'll leave the contact details, the email address that you can send your questions to. So you could send your questions or inquiries regarding the show. If there is any question you believe that, like she said, you do not want your name to be mentioned, then we'll just say don't write your name, but we just want you to understand that we do want you to share. And the reason we want you to share is not just to tell your story, but people can learn from your story.
Absolutely.
And then you can also learn a lot also. Because as individuals, like you said, sometimes we keep so many things close to our chest and we do not want to let it out because we've been hurt by people in the past. But let's share it is giving you the assurance that, you know what, we are not here to judge, like you said. And I find that interesting when you said you don't want to know why they did it.
Exactly.
The emphasis is just, let's get a solution. Let's find
Except
a way
in a situation where the reason they did it is important.
Okay.
So that they can be able to move on. Because sometimes some people take some decisions based on sentiment, which now ends them in some pot of soup, so to speak. So in that kind of circumstance, we will be able to explore why that was done, so that, but that might not even be something we want to really do in depth on this kind of program. Maybe if the person, goes through some sort of one-to-one or counseling and stuff like that, and that's a completely different kettle of fish. But like I said, people can be anonymous. We don't have to mention their names or who did what.
Okay.
The important thing is to be able to help them to move forward.
That's very, very interesting, just to help them to move forward. Like I said, the show is going to be on Reconcilers Radio. We'll put the link to the website in the comment section if it's going to be on YouTube, but we'll just have it somewhere on the left or on the right in the video. And thank you so much for taking out your time to come to us today. I am really excited about this show, honestly. And I'm so excited that you're joining me for my show on Tuesday, first of all. And as my guest, we're talking about communication, the importance of sharing, the importance of communicating, the importance of all of us realizing that we don't need to go on this journey on our own. There are people here that will support us, so the support you need is here in the amazing, awesome Toyin.
Thank you.
Let's share it on Reconcilers Radio.
Thank you very much.
You want to say the personal invite to your family and friends?
Yes, I would just like to say, please start to tune in from Monday the 1st of May, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, where you now have an opportunity not to carry your burden on your own. You can talk about it regardless of what it is, no matter how silly you think it is. But you can always send a text. You can send an email. Like DK said, we'll give you all the details, but the email address is just help@listeningears.org. So if you send the email or you send the text, and then on the screen you can have the number as well.
Yeah.
Of the number you can send the text to. And then you can write in and we can both share the burden, and then we can explore achieving solution to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So the number is 07837 299 499, and you can send a message on WhatsApp, you can send a text, or you can send the email to
help@listeningears.org.
help@listeningears.org.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to you joining us on Tuesday and then on the 1st of May 2017. God bless you.
Thank you. God
Bye.
bless.